Another exciting weekend in the Prinx Tires USL Cup was supposed to begin an hour ago, but better late than never. Mother Nature had other ideas for this one. Presented by Segra, it's Loudoun United welcoming the Richmond Kickers. Happy to have you with us this evening on ESPN+. Alongside MLS veteran Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm Joe Malfa. A reminder of the Group 6 standings here in Prinx Tires USL Cup. The group winner goes through, plus a wild card. Loudoun and Richmond both have some work to do. And Ricky, it's a good time for Loudoun United to finally have Abdelatif Abukora back in the starting 11.
Abukora is just a special player, reigning Young Player of the Year in USL Championship, the ability to go 1v1, the ability to create on himself, but the ability to bring in his teammates, especially higher up the field. Look for him to put some pressure on the Richmond Kickers early in this match because he's going to be really important to their success going forward.
On the other side, Tarek Panholzer, everything flows through him. They're target 9 with 3 goals this season.
Panholzer, he's big, he's physical, but has really soft feet that he can bring in his teammates. So his positioning, expect him to stay as high as he possibly can to occupy the center back. Service into him, and how good can he be at making this game stick at the ball at his feet? Really important to the success for the Kickers going forward as well.
It's USL League One against USL Championship, and two teams who are familiar with each other this year already. They met in Open Cup back in April with Richmond pulling the upset. It's the Kickers and Loudoun next on ESPN+.
Business success requires more than just technology. It demands a strategic connectivity game plan, relentless agility, and a human touch. We offer business-only, carrier-grade connectivity, cybersecurity, voice and cloud tailored to meet the diverse needs of our clients. Segra is one of the largest nationwide independent commercial fiber companies in the U.S., with a fiber network infrastructure spanning 28 states. We are Segra. Connectivity, support, solutions.
You have the power to save. Take charge of your energy bill with these tips from Novec. Adjust your ceiling fans to rotate counterclockwise for warmer weather. Novec also recommends installing a programmable thermostat to avoid cooling your home when you're away. Set your water heater to 120 degrees. Novec is helping members save energy, which means saving money. Harness your savings power. Find more tips and tools at novec.com/save.
Prinx Tires is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the Prinx Tires USL Cup. Built for practical performance and the long haul, Prinx delivers reliability for everyday drivers like you. Visit PrinxTireUSA.com to learn more. Ready to get things going finally in Leesburg after a powerful storm came through. Thankfully, a quick one. And the radar says we're good the rest of the night. Hope not to jinx it for this matchup presented by Segra. We'll meet the starting 11s brought to you by VSI, starting with the homestanding Loudoun United.
Win the midfield battle, you find success for Anthony Limbrick and Loudoun United. Santos and Murphy need to do a really good job at understanding when to push the tempo, when to be quick, when to be vertical, but also just to maintain possession. You have the width with Torres and Panayotu on either side, allowing Abukora to play underneath Wolferston.
On the other side for the Richmond Kickers, Darren Sawatsky, a younger group this year, anchored by Vinberg, the captain on the back line.
That back three needs to do a really good job at staying compact, at keeping this game in front of them, understanding that they're going to be under a lot of pressure. So weathering the storm the first 10 to 15 minutes, really important for the Richmond Kickers. Then you allow Kirkland and Panholzer to be really high and to be the outlets to release some of the pressure.
There's Abdelatif Abukora, front and center in the huddle. Made his season debut last week, off the bench 15 minutes against Monterey Bay in defeat for Loudoun United, making his first start of 2026 here tonight. Richmond from left to right in their blue striped kits. Loudoun in their burgundy from right to left. Two months ago, they met in Open Cup. 2 years ago, they also met in Open Cup. Loudoun taking it that night in a shootout. Over the last couple of years, different competitions have turned this into more of a regular meeting here in the state of Virginia. The more we see it, the better. And away we go. Here in Prinx Tires USL Cup, it's Loudoun United welcoming the Richmond Kickers. And the way things go in this tournament with the group winners going through, plus the door being left open for a wild card, you sort of get a sense about halfway through the group stage which teams do and don't have a chance to progress through mathematically. It's getting dicey for Richmond after losses in their first 2 games, but Loudoun, having only played just 1 match so far in Prinx Tires Cup, they are still very much alive. Full strength squad tonight as they welcome USL League One side Richmond Kickers. Anthony Limbrick happy with what his side has shown so far this year. They've had a lot of good showings against a lot of good teams. They don't have much to show for in terms of the points.
Talent's not a question for this Loudoun United side. Players that have had experience, that have had success in USL Championship, just trying to gel everything together and find that consistency within their performances.
Santos rolls it back. When I say there hasn't been a lot to show for in terms of the points, there really haven't been many losses either. Just so many ties with this group that have really set them back. Adds up over a long period of time. So many ties. If you look at the standings, it's a bit misleading. There's only 3 playoff teams right now in the East that have fewer losses than Loudoun United. Problem is, they only have the 1 win on their resume and 6 draws. Santos, the veteran, took his eye off of it. Richmond right now sitting below the playoff line in USL League One. Lost their first 2 games here in this tournament. Anthony Limbrick looks on. A tough test, though, he knows. It's Richmond Kickers side. It's been a topsy-turvy year in USL League One. You and I a couple of weeks ago had a chance to be on the call for AC Boise against Sarasota Paradise, a Boise team that's arguably the top team in the league, and a Sarasota team that's really struggling. And Darren Sawatsky pointed to that game as really an example of how tight things are in League One. Sarasota going on the road and beating Boise. Richmond right now sitting all the way down in 12th in USL League One, but just a win off the playoff places. Had their ups, they've had their downs, and they've already beaten Loudoun once this year in Open Cup. So we know what they're capable of. Richmond's defeats came at home against Charlotte and at home against Charleston in USL Cup. It's their 3rd of 4 games. Their last will be on the road as well. Marana back for Vinberg. Awkwardly given away. Akinyoti stepping up and winning it. Chance brewing for Loudoun. From a long way out, it's blocked. Stays alive. Effort out a bike from the edge of the area by Olferson. Now it's Santos driving one in, and Vinberg heading it out for a corner. Energetic start for Loudoun.
A really good start for the home side in terms of the pressure, squeezing the game and committing numbers forward. Notice the amount of traffic you have right on top of that 6-yard box. Pedro Santos hits it extremely well. And brave from Vinberg, the center back. Good touch.
Abukora working his way in. We missed that. So good last season. Ambelatif Abukora, 22 starts, 12 goals, 2 assists.
A phenomenal touch to let this ball come across his body and just so comfortable in tight spaces. Good recovery in the end from Panholzer.
Rumors were very heavy last year about his move to Europe. They still exist. They've quieted a little bit just because there was some murkiness with his health situation coming back from an injury. But he is fit and he is ready to make that leap. Enjoy him while you can still here in Loudoun. One of the brightest young players this league has produced. Abukora we'll have to do it again. The whistle came before the corner. Referee Carlos Rodriguez this evening. Incredibly busy day across the landscape in USL Cup. 16 matches in all. Dropped in again by Abukora, back post. He'll do it again from the other side.
The second time Ulferson's been involved was a heavy contact right on top of that 6-yard box. See him having a conversation with Carlos Rodriguez, the referee. Something to keep an eye out on if you are the referee here, with the amount of contact and the amount of traffic right in front of him netted.
Jack Panayiotou will take it this time and swinging with his left foot. Panayiotou spent last year with Hartford, the year prior on loan to Rhode Island, now on loan to Loudoun. Panayiotou, good service. Akinyoti was there. Couldn't steer it on frame. Santos striding through. Like Panholzer left that holding his head. Play on though, said the referee. And one back by Akinyoti.
Really important for the Richmond Kickers to slow this game down, especially with the momentum that we've seen from Loudoun at home. Extremely confident. Take the sting away from the game and settle yourself in.
Panayiotou looking to turn, commits the foul. How difficult is it, Ricky, as far as players who were set to begin this game, and then about 10 minutes from kickoff, lightning delay sets in, postpones it about an hour. How difficult is it to get right back on the horse?
Yeah, look, it's tough. It's tough physically, it's tough mentally, understanding that you're about to go into battle within 10 minutes and you get the message saying we have to go back into the locker room. So you have to have the ability to slow yourself down, slow the brain, and understanding the adrenaline, but then you have to come back up. So for each player, it's going to be different in terms of their preparation. What does it look like in the locker room? Some guys are playing soccer tennis. Some guys are just on their phone. Some guys are winding down. There's different ways, and these players all come down to how they know themselves in terms of their preparation individually.
I'm thinking you were somebody who was just on your phone.
No, I was playing soccer tennis. Come on.
O'Malley, the one down, holding his head. Former University of Washington standout.
A little bit of contact between Akinyoti and Owen O'Malley.
Oh, my apologies. Creighton, you looked at me.
Of course.
I don't know why I had Washington on the mind. The Creighton boy next to me. And O'Malley, I should have known how tough he is. Right back up and ready to come back in, that he was one of yours.
Best school in the country.
We could see Richie Amon later. I think that's why Washington was on the brain as we were looking at warm-ups earlier. He's been a bright spot for Loudoun. Sort of supplanted in the starting 11 by Abdelatif Abukora, and that's a testament to the depth of Loudoun and why there's still threats in this tournament and in the regular season. Here's Santos working with Abukora, the overlap. Abukora squares one.
Good step.
Akinyoti wins it cleanly. Just everywhere on the field, so much individual talent that's starting to come together as a team. Wholesale changes last year to this year for Loudoun, including the coaching staff. It just feels a matter of time And a victory in a tournament setting like this could be what propels them in the regular season as well.
Well, we have also seen Loudoun United play 4 in the back now, starting in this match with 3 in the back, which gives Cole Akinyoti and James Murphy the ability to really pull the strings. But most importantly, you allow the player on the ball right now, Pedro Santos, to work extremely hard, provide the width, and we've seen how good of a left foot he has to provide service into this man.
Olferson trying to turn. 5 goals and 9 starts in the regular season for Thor Olferson. Again, stepping up Asenge. Both he and Akinyoti have been active, stepping up and aggressive off the back line in the opening 10 minutes. I have to feel that's by design. Sensing this Richmond team coming in just about mathematically eliminated, but not quite yet here in Prinx Tires USL Cup. On the road, team you're supposed to beat on paper, the USL League One side, a team you want revenge against for what they did to you in Open Cup 2 months ago. Very aggressive in the first 10 minutes from Loudoun. Asenge pings one long, and Yotu took it off the chest and commits the foul. You can enter the Prinx Tires USL Cup Game Day Kit sweepstakes for your chance to win a prize pack worth up to $2,000. Scan the QR code on screen and enter today. Again, stepping off the back line. Akinyoti worked through. Panels are always lurking. Taken to the end line. Still in play. Fed in front. It was open on the volley. It's over the bar. Against the run of play, the Richmond kickers all of a sudden threatening.
Phenomenal feat from Howell, the left wing back, top side of your screen. Notice his movement and the ability to elude a second, and still have this ball come back across. The soul roll here, almost like he's playing futsal. Really well done. But you just have someone right on top of that 6-yard box. That is 1-0 in favor of the kickers. And as this ball does pop out, notice the shoulders of Swifer. Comes up, leans back and goes up and over the crossbar.
Fresh off of a 2-2 draw against AC Boise. Richmond kickers, they needed that to stabilize things after a 5-0 defeat against Chattanooga. Had a nice little win streak before that. Took down Westchester, took down Greenville. For a young team, there's been ups, there's been downs, it's expected. And they could provide flashes like that. Show you they can compete with a team a division higher. A team they already beat this year. Mujib Marana looking long. Josh Kirkland battling. It's Jordan Farr, first time we had a chance to mention him. Just came on loan officially yesterday from DC United. Back into the ranks of USL Championship. Has spent the last 2 seasons with DC. He made 3 total starts for DC United. He's been a reserve keeper for the MLS club. Free kick on the way that Farr might have to be alert for on the service. 2022 All-League First Team Goalkeeper of the Year and title winner at San Antonio, Jordan Farr. And also something to keep in mind if this one were to be tied at the end of 90 minutes and went straight to penalties. A penalty ace, Jordan Farr. His big claim to fame in his brief time this year and a half with DC United. He came in as a substitute with a minute remaining before a penalty kick shootout last year for DC and won them the game. Still a long way away from considering that, but keep that in the back of your mind. On a night where Loudoun have to have, you think, 3 points, but for the wild card consideration, bare minimum they need 2.
Need more quality within that service there. especially with the amount of pressure that you've been under for the Richmond kickers. An opportunity to get your big boys forward and just cause some issues right in front of Jordan Farr.
Feels like things have stabilized, though, a little bit. Richmond on the ball a bit more than they were in the first 10 minutes. Back for James Sneddon. Only one start this year. It came in USL Cup. Was their regular starter last year as a 19-year-old. 27 regular season starts. Hasn't seen one this season. Just USL Cup appearances. Mujib Marana. Well read by Pedro Santos.
And you see Darren Sawatsky really frustrated bottom of your screen in the technical area. Saying you need to be cleaner when you do recover the ball for the kickers. You do all the hard work. And as you try to recover from your mistake, you get yourself into trouble. Marana, first player in the book. So big test in terms of the positioning and discipline for the remainder of this game. As he tries to thread this ball in, Pedro Santos, the ball's gone. Drop of the shoulder, no real need to engage in any contact here.
Yellow card has been issued in the 15th minute to the Richmond kickers, number 26, Mujib Marana.
Anthony Limbrick has been a delight to chat to so far this season. He's kept a positive mindset and outlook for Loudoun despite some of the results. Pedro Santos down, though, right now is a concern. So much of what they do as a team flows through Santos and his leadership and his experience. A decade in Portugal, better part of a decade, 8 years to be exact at MLS. Joined Loudoun last year. Anthony Limbrick looks on.
And he gives you flexibility because we've seen him play all over the field. When these two teams met earlier this season in US Open Cup, played centrally, almost as a number 10, now playing as almost a wing back here. And one thing that you always get is the ability to break lines with Pedro Santos. Talked about the quality of a left foot that he has to provide service.
And only 5 years apart in age, those two, so his compatriot on the team, Anthony Limbrick and Pedro Santos. So it is overall a younger side for Loudoun. Back to Jordan Farr. Sneddon looking long. Very direct when they need to be, Richmond. Chasing it was Landon Johnson. After two touches, it's from one goalkeeper to the other. Mazzaferro. Settled by Penholzer. Derek Penholzer back. O'Malley puts in a very strong shoulder to the back. Loudoun pleading for a card.
Just about to mention, just so good defensively, Bill Lakinyoti is. We saw earlier in this first half the ability to close down space, and now he's dropping down deep and helping out his back line. As Mazzaferro gets taken down here. It's a really similar challenge to how Marana picked up his yellow card. If I'm a Loudoun player, I'm talking to Carlos Rodriguez saying this should be a second booking, and you love to see that. Darren Sawatsky, Abukura fist bumping.
A lot of respect there, especially for the player that Abukura has become these last couple of years. For Abukura, it's really just a matter of staying healthy now. That hasn't always been an easy thing. First on the scene in 2022. Santos nods it down. Olferson, 4 goals in 13 games that year in 2022. Abukura on it now. First professional season as a teenager. Missed all of 2023 due to an injury. and then progressed in 2024. Breakout year in 2025, the USL Championship Young Player of the Year with 12 goals. For him right now, it's, again, a matter of staying healthy, and it's a matter of picking the right move to whatever is next for him. The 21-year-old will be 22 in October. I remember a conversation we had last year at length with then Loudoun head coach Ryan Martin on USL All Access. It was about the next move for Abukora and a league that could suit him. Talked about the Belgian league, talked about maybe a second division in France type of deal where that's the type of game that those countries play that suits his skill set. Plenty of options and plenty of suitors. It does feel, based on some of the rumors, what you hear, what you believe, that Belgium is maybe where he lands when all is said and done. It's a long way to go. Here he is again, Abukora. Seen it time and again these last couple of years in USL Championship, young players being sold but remaining the rest of the season with their club on loan and then leaving in the offseason. I think that would be the hope for Loudoun if possible. Quick give and go. There's Abukora in the thick of it again. Abukora, patient, rolls it back. Ulferson flashes it wide.
Saw it earlier, just a soft feet in tight areas for Abukora. And I love the off-the-ball movement that we're seeing from Loudoun. Just unable to get his feet set. Ulferson, notice how he almost lunges at this ball and pulls it wide. But he's a player that Anthony Limbrick really impressed with and pleased with the progression that you've seen from Ulferson, not only on the ball, but off the ball within his work rate at setting the press.
You can turn to the CBS Sports Network on Wednesday, June 10th for a USL Eastern Conference Championship clash under the lights. Tampa Bay Rowdies defend their home turf against battle-tested Charleston Battery at 7 Eastern. Catch all the action on the CBS Sports Network on June 10th. Composure from Sneddon, picks out the open man. Beckett Howell looking long, too long. Back to that conversation about Abukora and just Loudoun as a whole. Ricky, it feels like it's just a matter of time, now especially with getting Abukora back healthy, that they can go on a bit of a run. A night like tonight is what they hope starts it, but they also have a weird quirk of the schedule right now where it's back-to-back USL Cup games. They will visit Greenville in the midweek and then finally turn their attention back to the regular season. And the teams in front of them, those are the teams they have to take down if they want to climb back into the playoffs places. They're home against Rhode Island, visiting Birmingham, visiting Charleston, and then hosting Sporting Jacks their next 4 games. 3 of those teams also below the playoff line and teams that they very much could and should handle. Safaro. Santos. There's Ulferson. It's usually the one you want to target in the middle, but pulled wide on the ball. And a free kick coming for Loudoun, as is a card. O'Malley got away with it down at the other end in the corner, but a second infringement, and now he's put in the book alongside Marana.
It's the right decision from Carlos Rodriguez. I love what we've seen from Loudoun United, understanding when you play into that front line, that allows Murphy or Bolakanyoti to push higher and just be this outlet that you can draw in a midfielder and play around him. A lot of contact from O'Malley late again. And an opportunity for Loudoun United to lift this ball towards that far post area to really cause some chaos right in front of the kicker's goal.
Abukora looking at the edge of the 6, but nobody there. to it is O'Malley. Morana quickly looking for Penholzer. It's well read, intercepted by Santos. And that was Kirkland, the intended target of the throw. Good step from Christian Torres. Deflected on the service. Kept in play by Sneddon, avoids conceding the corner.
And just to press relentless right now from Loudoun. If you are the kickers, you have to understand that, and there's nothing wrong with playing a little bit more direct, regaining some real estate high up the field, because right now it's just too predictable when playing out of the back.
Pretty similar to this point from what we saw in the Open Cup 2 months ago. Control for Loudoun, not many chances either way. And then it was late in that second half that all of a sudden the game opened up a little bit more as Loudoun was pushing. Felt like the pressure was on them as the higher division side. And then Richmond on a counter. And the dying embers in stoppage time found the winner. That one played in Richmond. In essence, a home and home between these two in-state rivals. Well won by Loudoun. Abukora. Akinyoti. Stumbling down. It was Mazzaferro back to his feet quickly. Play on. Peniotu. Pushing for Torres. Back for Peniotu. On that left foot of his, looking back post, too much on it.
As this ball goes wide to Peniotu, notice his run up to this ball. Obviously left footer, but you have to have the ability to strike this ball with your right foot. He has to come around his body. So that opens up that angle, but that also throws off his balance and unable to get the right amount of weight on this ball. If you can be a little bit more natural, just step into it with your right foot, then you provide more quality service.
Morana. Took a deflection on that service from Penholzer. Shot for handball from the Loudoun bench goes unanswered. Seufert scooping it through. Akinyoti recovering. Physical ball recovery by Daniel Moore. Morana. USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. So League One and the Richmond Kickers against the Championship and Loudoun here in this one tonight. Half an hour in, still scoreless from Seger Field. Glad to have you with us on ESPN Plus alongside Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm Joe Malfa. Ricky, it's been pretty much identical to when these teams met back in Open Cup at the beginning of April. Very lengthy feeling out process, but is that a surprise considering they haven't met already?
Yeah, it is. And if you are Loudoun United, you knew you're going to see a lot of the ball for Anthony Limbrick. Yes, through the run of play, you've been really strong, and you have to be pleased with what you've seen, but you need something to show for it. You need to put more pressure on Sonetta because a lot of your work that you've done has been in that middle third. You need to be more ruthless and more clinical in that final third and around that 18-yard box.
Both teams playing a little bit scared at the beginning of the Open Cup game. You can understand the trepidation. Hadn't faced each other in a competition like that. Only a couple of friendlies throughout the years. No official competition. Tonight, though, there'd be a sense of familiarity and a sense of caution on the wind. And it's played out the same. Richmond not in any way mathematically eliminated from Prinx Tire's USL Cup yet, but after 2 losses from their first 2 games, it is very, very difficult mathematically for any way forward. Loudoun lost their first game. They are very much still alive. They go on and rattle off 3 victories. There's a chance they win the group, but beyond that, 9 points, they'd have to feel very good about their prospects as the wild card team potentially. Maybe you're seeing a couple more Richmond players who don't typically play rotating in for some minutes, knowing their situation versus Loudoun with a full strength squad you'd see any day in the USL Championship. It's one of 16 games tonight in Prinx Tire's USL Cup. Among the games, well, there's 8 in action right now, and only a couple goals to show for. Hartford up 1-0 on the Cosmos. Detroit City FC actually just scored against Lexington moments ago to make it 1-0. So that one updated as we showed it to you. All the action, you got to get all the screens going. That was a graphic that our team made about 30 seconds ago, and it changed in the meantime.
Love what the USL Cup is all about, rewarding teams that go for it, that's try to be attacking style, wanting to put the ball in the back of the net, makes things really exciting.
Abukora curling one in, hoping for Ulferson. That's a combination as time goes on that could be very deadly in the USL Championship. Bottom left of your screen, Anthony Limbrick trying to wheel everybody up in the press here for Loudoun. Came roaring out of the gates 10 minutes in, but things have significantly settled down.
Mazzafetto has been really good in this match. Just started in terms of his positioning. This time Asenge gets caught. A little ill-advised step, so he needs to drop down, provide coverage, ability to read the game, draw a foul, and keep his side in possession. Really well done by the number 5.
For Snedden, pressured by Ulferson. Santos split the difference on Abukora. And Ulferson. Morana. Down by Kirkland, and he was dropped Foul. Mazzaferro tried to go quickly, Richmond, but referee blew it dead. Possible head injury here for Kirkland. Has to stop play.
I mentioned it in the lineups. The number 9 and number 11 for Richmond kickers need to do a really good job in terms of their hold-up play with the amount of pressure that they've been under. Kirkland fending off Esenge here, and that allows Pendleton to come underneath, and well done by the center forward. A lot of contact from Esenge over the top. There's Zawadzki asking for a booking. Well, those are the types of actions that you need to try to see on a consistent basis if you are Darren Zawadzki, because that releases pressure, but that also allows your wide players, especially on the weak side, to be expansive and vertical at making runs in behind.
From the free kick. Still rattling around, bodies flying at the edge of the area. Flipped in, flicked on, wide. Good effort from Josh Kirkland.
Will the Virginia Revolution seniors please report to the video board at the 40th minute? Once again, Virginia Revolution seniors, please report to
Good ball in for Moore. Right on top of that, 6-yard box, especially with how big your two strikers are playing vertical into them. It caused some issues for Loudoun United.
8 goals last season, Kirkland. 2 so far in 8 games this season. Neither side yet with a shot on target. 3 shots for Loudoun, 2 shots for Richmond. Recovery again from Daniel Moore, who's shown flashes tonight defensively. Hasn't started yet in the regular season. Only 118 minutes across 7 games. He's a player tonight that Darren Zawadzki, the opportunity was there to start, showcase himself, and doing so at this point. Good crowd on hand here tonight at Seger Field. Brave the weather. Stuck through it. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and USL League One. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice.
Tell you what, over the last 5 to 10 minutes here, Richmond's starting to find their footing. Notice playing a bit more into their front line, causing a little bit of chaos, winning those second duels. And that has pinned back Loudoun. Haven't seen enough of Abukora, Ulverson, Panayotu. Like you mentioned, took a little bit to settle in. But since then, Darren Zawadzki needs to be really pleased with what he's seen from his side.
Difficult challenge there. Referee saw it as clean. Penholzer, he lost it. Abukora continues on. Santos still on the ground. Worked through for Panayotu. Now Abukora dancing through. And now the whistle blows for a foul against Christian Torres. Santos still down and giving the 4th official an earful.
Initially, the contact from Penholzer here is on the ball. but it's a follow through that catches Pedro Santos, and as his ball comes through, Torres knows exactly what he's doing, just uses his hip to deny Moore the ability to get on the ball. But notice the left foot on the ball. I tend to agree with their decision of Carlos Rodriguez saying this is not a foul. The left foot comes over the ball, Pedro Santos falls over it, and it's a fall through that has a lot of contact. Is it aggressive? Yes. Is it clean? Yes, as well. It looks a lot worse than what it is.
James Murphy having a chat with the fourth official, trying to get an answer as to why it might not have been a foul, but I think I'm with you. It looked all right. Been a physical game between these teams. There's been good intensity. Certainly feels as if that Open Cup game from 2 months ago is still on their minds. Take one more look at it here. From the opposite angle again, here's the ball. He came in clumsily, there's no doubt, and it's maybe just the awkwardness of the challenge that got the Loudoun bench up in arms about it.
But the initial contact is with the ball. I think it's a fall through that catches Pedro Santos, that catches him in an unfortunate area.
You know, I was wondering what word you were going to use. Sensitive, unfortunate. All apply.
What would you have used?
I would have probably said sensitive.
Sensitive?
I think both apply.
Okay.
A few deep breaths, he'll be all right momentarily. It's given a chance for the rest of the group to catch their breath. Maybe think things over here these last few minutes before halftime. In the first half, that saw Loudoun race out of the gates, opening few minutes. Looking dangerous, creating chances. Well, Richmond settled in. Looks like they're going to lift Pedro Santos. Word from down on the field is that Santos is trying to stick this out, especially with halftime so near. In the meantime, they are getting a player down in the corner to warm up a bit more vigorously. That's Luca Piras. Action continues now. He does have the luxury, Anthony Limbrick, of waiting if he wants to. It's not that long. You have to play down a man. It's 2 minutes plus stoppage, and you can decide again at halftime if Santos can or cannot continue. Matsafero. Senge. That's a difficult challenge from Daniel Moore. And he will be the third member of the Richmond Kickers with the yellow in this first half.
No real need to leave your feet here if you are Moore. Torres is by you. The play is gone. Really late, catches none of the ball, all the player, and deserving of a yellow card for Moore. Food truck guy?
Never gonna say no. Fans are starting to flock that way to get their halftime eats. Can they get a goal before then, Loudoun? Swing and a miss. Trying to clear that one edge of the area. And then Johnson gets off scot-free. This is Santos moments ago, gingerly walking off. But now, that cheer you heard is Santos coming back out onto the field. So it looked worse maybe than it was, but back out there, giving it a go before halftime. Seven minutes of stoppage time here in this first half. Kirkland lays it off. Nice give and go down that right flank, finding Panholzer, centering, Asenge. It did drift out for a corner. Chance for the kickers here before halftime on a set piece.
What an opportunity this is for the kickers. And right before halftime, the amount of aerial threats that Darren Sawatsky has, you have to understand that you cannot get beat in transition as well. So leaving players behind the ball in case this ball goes into Jordan Farr, because moments ago, how quickly Jordan Farr released his service.
Nils Seufert drops in a good service, header goalward, saved by Farr. Not much on that from Majid Marana. Just quickly, Abukora with space, doesn't have much support. Late arriving Ulferson, going 2v8 basically right now, Loudoun, but Abukora is still finding a way down that right flank. It'll be out for a throw. The header from Marana was the first shot on target of this half for either side. It's been a very choppy first half. The stats on the back end that we're privy to, they keep track of how much time has elapsed and how much the ball has been in play. Granted, there's been some injuries, but these two teams have only seen the ball in play for 23 of the 47 minutes played. Less than half of this first half have seen the ball actually actively in play. Part of that by design on the Richmond end to slow things down and slow down this potentially potent Loudoun attack. You saw what it looks like when it gets going in the first 10 minutes and the danger they were able to generate, but after Richmond was able to muck up the game, things have changed drastically. Seufert all the way back for Sneddon. Pressured by Ulferson. Akinyoti released through the middle. Nearly got there. Limbrick thought he was fouled. Bottom of your screen just squatted down and discussed with the fourth official. Shocked that the foul wasn't given.
And that's a risky ball to play right down the center of your defensive half, knowing how aggressive Loudoun has been to start this game. Every single time they've tried to play that ball centrally, there's been, whether it is Akinyoti, James Murphy, just coming through and trying to force a turnover. Be a bit smarter and more careful if you are sending that in there.
Young keeper, just 20 years of age. He started last season, all 27 games for Richmond as a teenager. This year, his time has been cut. Not the first choice keeper anymore. As he started in the regular season, this is just his second start in this competition. Another goal elsewhere now. Sarasota has taken a 1-0 lead on FC Naples. Declan Waters with the goal.
It's a nice little battle.
Local teams on the Florida West Coast staying out that way. Tampa Bay Rowdies are up 2-0 on Sporting Jacks, but that one on the east coast of Florida. It's a Jacksonville home game this evening. Jacksonville still looking to get going in the regular season, but they are within touching distance of the Group 7 top of the standings in this tournament. They needed to win, though, tonight against the Rowdies, and that's looking bleak at the moment. The Rowdies just continue to do rowdy things. Perfect in the regular season. 2 wins from 2 matches, and maybe on the way to 3 wins from 3 matches in Prinx Cup. And there's just no end in sight to a terrific unbeaten run.
Good work.
Bora lost it. Well done, coming all the way back. Panholzer and winning the free kick as well. Yellow to Santos.
It's far too casual initially from Abukura. Just trying to beat Panholzer not once but twice. But credit the work rate. And this touch right there understands Pedro Santos. Gets caught flat-footed, put it by him, takes the contact, get him in the book. And another opportunity to lift this ball into your attacking 18-yard box.
Seufert, something off the training ground, feeding it into space for Panholzer. Eric Panholzer.
It's an interesting one for me, Joe. I think the angle from the initial spot's far better than down in the corner. Because once you play this ball down in the corner, the Loudoun United back line just drops, and there's just no real estate to allow your players to run into.
Minutes of stoppage come and gone. And there's the whistle to end half number 1. A very similar first half tonight to what we saw back on April 1st when these teams met in Open Cup. Cagey, not much going on, and scoreless to the break.
First part of the first half, if you are Anthony Limbrick, you have to be really pleased with the performance, what you saw from your side. But Darren Sawatsky's side showed grit, they showed personality, and they showed the ability to dig down deep and just be a little bit dirty in terms of working hard, winning second duels, and they found momentum all to play for in this next 45 minutes.
2 teams in different positions in Prinx Tire's USL Cup. Richmond, it looks bleak, as the weather did look earlier. Loudoun just about has to win to keep things going, and they have every opportunity to top this group, but they need a better second half. Scoreless at the break. Halftime score brought to you by Segra. More to come from Leesburg, Virginia.
business success requires more than just technology. It demands a strategic connectivity game plan, relentless agility, and a human touch. We offer business-only, carrier-grade connectivity, cybersecurity, voice and cloud tailored to meet the diverse needs of our clients. Segra is one of the largest nationwide independent commercial fiber companies in the U.S., with a fiber network infrastructure spanning 28 states. We are Segra. Connectivity, support, solutions.
You have the power to save. Take charge of your energy bill with these tips from Novec. Adjust your ceiling fans to rotate counterclockwise for warmer weather. Novec also recommends installing a programmable thermostat to avoid cooling your home when you're away. Set your water heater to 120 degrees. Novec is helping members save energy, which means saving money. Harness your savings power. Find more tips and tools at novec.com/save.
Halftime brought to you by Segra. Scoreless at the break here at Segra Field between Loudoun United and the Richmond Kickers. Here's a reminder of how things will work going forward in Prinx Tires USL Cup.
42 clubs in the USL Championship and League One will form 7 groups filled out by region. Each club will play 4 group matches, and when the dust settles, the 7 group winners will advance along with 1 wildcard team, not 2 wildcards like last year. The remaining 8 clubs will be drawn into 4 quarterfinal matches with 1 stipulation. The wildcard cannot be drawn against its group winner. The 4 quarterfinal winners will then be drawn for the semifinal round, with the 2 finalists drawn to determine the host for the Prinx Tires USL Cup final.
This week on USL All Access, the 19-year-old rookie for Charleston Battery, Colton Swan, joins the show.
Just one of 3 players called outside of the MLS pyramid, and only 2 from USL Championship play. Why has his star been on the rise recently for the Charleston Battery? And what's next for the U.S. Youth National Team player? Prinx Tires Cup. Back this weekend, what group do you have to keep an eye on?
Prinx Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinx Tires will be there for the long haul.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
You have the power to save. Take charge of your energy bill with these tips from Novec. Adjust your ceiling fans to rotate counterclockwise for warmer weather. Novec also recommends installing a programmable thermostat to avoid cooling your home when you're away. Set your water heater to 120 degrees. Novec is helping members save energy, which means saving money. Harness your savings power. Find more tips and tools at novec.com/save.
It is halftime in the Prinx Tires USL Cup. The drama is building in all groups. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the headlines from League One and the championship. The lone unbeaten club in both leagues is putting up dominant numbers in a 2026 turnaround. The Tampa Bay Rowdies have scored first in all 13 of their matches in all competitions this year. But if you break it down to just 11 games in the championship, the Rowdies have outshot their opponents 50-28 so far. Congratulations to Greenville Triumph for opening the latest of the new stadiums in League One. The Triumph began play in GE Vernova Park with a win over Forward Madison. League One now boasts 3 brand new stadiums in 2026. Young players are starting to earn more and more playing time in League One and the USL Championship. How about Santiago Higuereta from AV Alta? He scored his first professional goal in Week 12. At age 17 years, 249 days old, Higuereta is the youngest goal scorer in AV Alta history, and he beats out Vigo Ortiz of Charlotte Independence by 43 days for the League One youngest player to score this season. Upcoming national spotlight games next Wednesday, the Rowdies and Charleston Battery, Forward Madison and Fort Wayne on the 17th, and Las Vegas and Orange County on the CBS Sports Network. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
This Loudoun crowd hoping to see some fireworks in this second half. Scoreless so far. And we'll step away from our game for a moment to take a broader look at the scores and schedule here in Prinx Tires USL Cup. 16 games in all today. Tampa Bay Rowdies just continue on. We mentioned that score earlier. Hartford up 1-0 on the Cosmos. That one delayed to weather right now, but Ricky, the conversation is the Rowdies. It starts and ends with them right now in USL Championship and in Prinx Tires Cup.
What Dominic Cachot has been able to do with that roster has been phenomenal. He dipped into players that he knew, players that he played against in USL League One, and that has translated into a fantastic matter against. In USL Championship, you go down in the 11 for Madison, and then the battle of black and yellow, gold and yellow.
Sure.
Between Charleston and Pittsburgh, 0-0.
You could throw New Mexico into that competition if you wanted to have a little black and yellow trophy. They play their actual rival, Phoenix Rising, later tonight. Union Omaha and Fort Wayne in an all-USL League One clash. Colorado Springs and El Paso is an interesting one. Another one that pits a pair of USL Championship teams against each other. And furthermore, later in the evening, we go further out on the West Coast, and you have the rivalry between Sacramento and Monterey Bay. Tomorrow, don't forget, still one more game. It's Brooklyn and Portland Hearts of Pine. Portland Hearts of Pine, they have a chance to top their group, and they have already once again claimed another victory over USL Championship opponents this year, as they did last year. They are fun to watch.
Yeah, that group is wide open for Bobby Murphy. A big opportunity to continue to push the envelope and try to get themselves into the next round of USL Cup.
We are ready to begin the next half in this USL Cup matchup when we return. Loudoun and Richmond scoreless through 45 as they were 2 months ago in Open Cup. Richmond stole that one late. Can Loudoun get revenge here tonight?
You have the power to save. Take charge of your energy bill with these tips from Novec. Adjust your ceiling fans to rotate counterclockwise for warmer weather. Novec also recommends installing a programmable thermostat to avoid cooling your home when you're away. Set your water heater to 120 degrees. Novec is helping members save energy, which means saving money. Harness your savings power. Find more tips and tools at novec.com/save.
Business success requires more than just technology. It demands a strategic connectivity game plan, relentless agility, and a human touch. We offer business-only, carrier-grade connectivity, cybersecurity, voice and cloud tailored to meet the diverse needs of our clients. Segra is one of the largest nationwide independent commercial fiber companies in the U.S., with a fiber network infrastructure spanning 28 states. We are Segra. Connectivity, support, solutions.
You have the power to save. Take charge of your energy bill with these tips from Novec. Adjust your ceiling fans to rotate counterclockwise for warmer weather. Novec also recommends installing a programmable thermostat to avoid cooling your home when you're away. Set your water heater to 120 degrees. Novec is helping members save energy, which means saving money. Harness your savings power. Find more tips and tools at novec.com/save.
Prinx Tires is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the Prinx Tires USL Cup. Built for practical performance and the long haul, Prinx delivers reliability for everyday drivers like you. Visit PrinxTireUSA.com to learn more. Look back at highlights from the first half. Loudoun and Richmond only combined for 7 shots, 1 on target after the rains came. Early on, the aggression was to Loudoun's side, but Richmond settled in nicely.
Yeah, really good feed here from Hal. A little bit of a soul roll, but just notice you have 3 players for the kickers just sitting and watching him go to work. No one making that secondary movement on top of that 6-yard box, because if you did, it's 1-0 in favor of the kickers. This ball pops out. Sawyer puts the ball up and over the crossbar. And this was probably the best action that we saw from Loudoun United. The ball, you play quick, you allow Bullock Yodi to get high. Just notice a lack of defending. A little bit shocking here. And this ball comes out. Albuquerque really soft feet, but unable to settle his feet. Olferson, notice how he just stabs at it. Ball gets caught underneath him, doesn't hit it on target. There wasn't a lot for Loudoun through that final third. Middle third was where they did most of their work. Watch out for the camera people on the side. And this ball comes to that far post. It's an easy save in the end for Jordan Farr. Soifert, quality service, and Moore does just enough to try to push it by, but an easy save for a goalkeeper of his quality.
Stats paint the picture of really what we saw in that first half. Loudoun had more of the control, that was clear, but Richmond did more with what little they had.
And more threatening for the Richmond kickers once they did get into that final third. That's going to be the next step in the progression for Anthony Limbrick and Loudoun United. A lot of the ball. Now what can you do with it when you get higher up the field? You have to put more pressure on this back line, and Sneddon.
We're going to see wholesale changes from both these teams right out of the gates at halftime, it appears. Luca Piras and Richie Amon, the two set to check in on the Loudoun side, and a trio of changes being readied by the kickers. We'll get you all 5 of those combined changes in a moment. Starting on the Loudoun side, it'll be Abdelatif Abukora and Christian Torres departing. And the big one is Abukora making his first start of the season. Part of a progression plan, 15 minutes off the bench last game, 45 minutes in a start tonight. He will be replaced by Richie Amon. And Luca Piras replacing Christian Torres. Amon has been terrific so far this season for Loudoun.
There's your Washington guy.
Let's see what he could do in this second half. And all of a sudden, it's maybe a position battle on that side for Loudoun. Amon and Cora pretty much occupying the same spot. Sure, there's a way to get them surely on the field together. How dangerous they could be when they are together. On the other side, Luca Dorado, the big one coming in for the Richmond Kickers. He scored the winner in stoppage time when these teams met in Open Cup. And beyond Dorado, also Hayden Anderson and Tyler Freeman making their way into the match. Tyler Freeman replaces Owen O'Malley. Joshua Kirkland replaced by Luca Dorado. And Hayden Anderson replacing Mujib Marana. So Richmond does get 2 of the yellow cards off the field. That's key. Only one remaining out there. Daniel Moore for Richmond, and then Pedro Santos for Loudoun. It's Richmond right to left in the blue, Loudoun left to right in the burgundy. And away we go in half number 2. Second time this year these two teams meet, second different cup competition. Richmond stole it 1-0 last time. Subs brought to you by Segra. Well, these 5 combined changes sparked something in a game that was rather lifeless the final 20 minutes of that first half. For Jordan Farr, he was rather untested in that first half. Just one very weak header his way. Into space for Luca Piras. All the way back for James Sneddon. Calmly rolling it through for Daniel Moore. Freeman coming on at the half for the Kickers. Former member of Loudoun himself, going back to 2022. Young career that has seen him bounce around. Bright young talent. He was coming up to the Sporting Kansas City system. A year at Loudoun, a year at Huntsville, a year at Birmingham, a year at Carolina Core, a year at Hartford, and now with Richmond. Oh, that is still just 23 years of age as he's looked to find a home. That jump that many were expecting of him.
We're having a conversation with Ryan Martin on a year or two ago, talking about Tyler Freeman. Said he is one of, if not the most talented player I've ever coached. Really high praise for a player of Tyler Freeman and a coach like Ryan Martin, who's been around the block and has been really successful at every stop of his career. Ability to produce magic, and he's really audacious, especially in that final third. Tyler Freeman is.
Remember, if we are tied at the end of 90, we go straight to a shootout. Both teams will take 1 point, and the shootout will be for that bonus second point. It's a little bit different this year. Last year we had 2 wild card teams. This year with the extra group, just 1 wild card team. And if you're Loudoun, you have to be thinking that, sure, you want 9 points if you can. 7 might get you there. And it starts tonight. Or rather 8, excuse me, might get you there if you win a shootout and then win 2 in regulation. It's tough to base this year on last year, just because of the 1 wild card versus 2. Daniel Moore. Richmond would have to win tonight and their final game in regulation, and then just hope that the bubble craters around the wild card teams. Luca Piras, the newly inserted sub, having some adjustments made perhaps from Anthony Limbrick. Tense conversation there. Well, at the other end, James Sneddon down in net for Richmond. Captain Sean Vidberg just came over to check on him, gave the thumbs up back to the bench, saying he's fine. It's good for a player like Sneddon, a young goalkeeper, 20 years of age, getting his opportunity again here in USL Cup. 27 starts last year in the regular season when called upon. This year been different. Been the backup in the regular season. This is similar already to the first half, where there really wasn't a flow allowed to take place in the game just because of the stop-start nature and some of the injuries and breaks in the action we saw. We didn't even get 4 minutes into this second half. I think Darren Sawatsky's body language depicts how we're all feeling at the moment. Maybe at some point a soccer game will break out here tonight.
Injuries, weather, more injuries. A lot of adversity here.
Through the 56 minutes between whistles, that includes first half stoppage time. The ball has only been in play for 30 of 56 minutes. Not a fun ratio. It's a shame because we know what this game could look like when it gets flowing, as it was in the first 10-15 minutes. Loudoun on the front foot. Free-flowing opportunities. Richmond within that had a couple of counters. And then the faucet turned off the last 30 minutes of that first half, and so far the first 5 of this second half. Esenge. Adnan. Looking in behind for Jack Panayiotou. Here's Tyler Freeman. See what he could do his first efforts.
It's going to change the way that Richmond look going forward, especially with Luca Dorado playing as a number 9. The mobility certainly goes. He's going to want the ball to feet, so playing into him and now have movement underneath him or in behind him, because he is a true target number 9, meaning he's going to have his back towards the center backs and just popping a ball into his feet.
Some work for Jordan Farr to do. That one coming off the head of a teammate. Rolls it out quickly for Santos. Good to see Santos upright and about after that knock he took in the first half. Here's Richie Amen, first involvement since coming on. Amen cuts it inside. Blasted over the top toward Olferson. Settled awkwardly in the area. Some contact there. Olferson lays it off into space. Panayiotou. Akinyoti steps up. That next heartbeat from Panayiotou, you know, is going to be a left-footed strike on his preferred left peg, but just poked away in the nick of time.
Again, the way Sneddon just falls on this ball.
He's cramping bad. It was the left leg he was favoring last time as soon as he went down. This time it's his right leg. This is legitimate. I'm not trying to insinuate this is gamesmanship. You're in the 53rd minute of a cup match where your team is in all likelihood mathematically out anyway. This is probably not Sneddon trying to bide time and waste time and get to penalties. It's far too early for that. This feels genuine, and they already gave him the pickle juice shot. Just wonder how much longer it'll be allowed to carry on if you're Darren Sawatsky, your young keeper that you have a lot of faith in, and you've showed that faith time after time. He probably wants to continue on himself, of course. Fewer opportunities this year because of Fillion, the goalkeeper who has stepped in as their number 1 this year. Fillion has started each of the regular season games. After, again, last year, Sneddon started 27 of them. It's only 74 degrees at the moment. and he is a goalkeeper. Do with those two bits of information what you will. I will say, if you are cramping in 74 degrees as a goalkeeper who's not moving around much, it might be time to hook you up to an IV or something. Jan Filion has just taken off the warm-up top and been given his jersey, but now he sits back down. And Sneddon continues on. On the flip side, if you're Loudoun, you have to be thinking, hey, can we test this
keeper?
Go
at him, yeah, exactly. Use any sort of advantage that you can. A shot from distance, try to put it towards the corner and force the goalkeeper to move.
Kick for Richmond. Luca Dorado brought down. And it was Dorado the hero last time these teams met. And a heavy challenge in the midfield. It's going to be yellow for Akinyoti.
The argument here for Bolu is that the ball goes the other way. I agree with him. Initial contact is with the ball. Aimer does come and catches Bolu on the follow through. The wrong decision here from Carlos Rodriguez. No VAR here in USL Cup, so whatever the call list stands. But really hard done by if you are Loudoun United and Bolu Akinyoti.
Every time the ball's put back into play, Loudoun wants to go, go, go. And then there's a whistle, there's an injury, there's Richmond taking the sting out of the game. They're doing what they want, Richmond. And these teams met again back on April 1st in Open Cup. First half, as we talked about, saw almost nothing. 7 combined shots, 1 shot on target. Same as tonight in the first half. 7 combined shots, 1 shot on target. Second half didn't fare much better. There were 10 shots, 3 on target, and much of that came very late on. Luca Dorado scored 90 plus 6 to put Richmond in front, and there were 5 more minutes of stoppage time after that. We went past 100 minutes that night, and that's when Loudoun had their best chances. Eamon. Piras cuts it back. Luca Piras. Fronted by Daniel Moore, who's on a yellow. Piras delivering on the volley, chip toward goal and out of play. And just mishit in the end by Olferson.
As this ball initially comes to PRS, you want him to be a little bit more aggressive. Go at Moore. Moore is on a yellow card, bottom of your screen. Put the defender on his heels. You at very least need to get a shot off on target here. As you start twisting and turning, this allows Richmond to get a little more numbers behind the ball. It makes life difficult for Olferson. It's a 1v1 and you're attacking 18-yard box. You go at your defender.
Picked up by Eamon. Clumsy play at the back by Richmond. A shove in the back, and Eamon will have a free kick earned for Loudoun right at the edge of the area. Yellow coming out of the pocket as well. Just feels a matter of time now before Loudoun is able to find the breakthrough if the game can find some sort of rhythm. Yellow shown to Hayden Anderson.
Just talked about being aggressive. You've been doing a good job just driving at this back line. Notice the left arm from Anderson comes across. And as this ball gets pushed right there, tries to make a play, and it lunges in with his left foot as well. And takes out Eamon.
They brought Anderson on for Marana to get a yellow card off the field. And now it's back out there. Who will strike this for Loudoun was a big question I had when the free kick was given. You have plenty of options. And looks like Thor Olferson is most poised to hit it. Jack Panayotou has an electric left foot. Those are the two over it right now. It is Olferson just wide.
It's hard when you try to go to the goalkeeper's side, especially this close to the box. You have to hit it with power. Olferson tries to put bend on it. And a little bit of a dip. And that's on target. Snedden's beat. He gets caught cheating. Before the ball's kicked, he's already taking a step to his right.
Richmond preparing what will be their fourth substitution. After that in a moment. Another awkward bit of contact down in the corner. Olferson brought down. Free kick again for Loudoun. The whole time, Vinberg was expecting a dive to be called against Olferson and a card shown for it. Now just realizing that he's the one called for the foul and he can't believe it. But he should believe it. That's a two-handed shove and a jersey grab.
Every single time you have your arms extended away from your body coming through the back, it's a foul. No question whatsoever.
That sub when it comes at the next stoppage for Richmond will be Nils Seufert out and Sam Layton in. Have to contend with another free kick. This time it'll be a service from this wide angle. Panayotou and his left foot stand over it. Panayotou firing back post, just touched away by Snedden. Akinyoti was there.
Seems to be moving well, Snedden. Commanding your 6-yard box. Good ball in from Panayotou to that far post. Akinyoti's there. But Snedden does not redirect this ball. Confident goalkeeping.
Well, that's what makes this substitution here interesting of Sam Layton coming on for Nils Seufert. Unless there is a knock or a minutes restriction we don't know about for Seufert. You have your goalkeeper who has twice gone down, and that second time they thought long and hard about making a change. You only have one substitution left if you're Richmond. If you're Darren Sawatsky, how long do you hold on to that to make sure your goalkeeper can go the distance? The last thing you want is to make that fifth change for a tactical reason in the field of play, and then have Snedden go down again. Corner dropped in. Olferson glances it on. It sets up for Snedden. Soccer season's here. SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Layton, first touches. Moore. Good tackle. Cleanly won by Noah Adnan, who hasn't really had much to do. The Richmond attack has come through the middle or down that far side. Not much of it down this near side. Santos has been much busier, gave it away. Tyler Freeman picks it up. Works it through for Johnson. And then Johnson back from a long way out. It's saved by Jordan Farr. Austin Amer struck it well.
It's a really well, really clean Amer. Gets his body position spot on just to wrap his foot around it and bend it in the end. Jordan Farr's positioning flawless.
Top class keeper around USL. Jordan Farr again just yesterday came back on loan within the league. Coming over from DC United. Former goalkeeper of the year in 2022. Akinyoti wins it. He's shoved down. Tries to get back to his feet. Beckett Howell, the guilty party this time. Akinyoti. Adnan. How long this goes like this, probably the happier Darren Sawatsky gets. Although I can't recall a time where we've seen him really smiling.
Always trying to push the standard, always trying.
If you remember,
coach, very passionate.
Yeah, if you remember at the end of that Open Cup game, you just beat an upset USL Championship side. You made it to a round where you're going to face an MLS opponent in Open Cup, and he was like reaming out that fourth official at the end of that game. You and I were chuckling as we went off the air for that Open Cup game. You think he'd be celebrating with the supporters, with his teammates. The intensity takes a little while, I guess, post-game to wear off before he could finally let the enjoyment set in. But the longer this goes, 0-0, the happier he probably gets, because it's playing into Richmond's hands, and the doubt creeps in again for Loudoun, just like it was last time where Richmond stole it late. Could that happen again? Santos having trouble connecting at the moment. Loudoun have been at their best when they found their creators in the pockets, namely Richie Amen in the second half. As things have fallen quiet again in the attack, will Anthony Limbrick go back to the bench? Look at some more scores. Tampa Bay cruising still. Indy now up 2-0 on Madison. Detroit City still up 1-0 on Lexington. Rhode Island dominating Westchester. Scoreless in the black and yellow derby, as you put it. Charleston, Pittsburgh, Omaha up 2-0 on Fort Wayne. Sarasota still up 1-0 on Naples. Does that rivalry have a name yet? I haven't been privy to it. Sarasota and Naples. You got to do some digging. Those two teams on the Gulf Coast of Florida. Two newcomers these last 2 years in USL League One. That's been maybe one of the more entertaining aspects of expansion, with a free kick coming Loudoun's way here. The new rivalries that have popped up year over year. Some of the gaps in the map being closed. The yellow shown for Sam Layton. I think in the Northeast, Portland, Rhode Island, Hartford, those teams now clustered together.
A confidential charge yellow card has been issued in the 67th minute to the Richmond kickers, number 4, Sam Layton.
Amen. Worked through. Chance here. Ulferson goes for goal and scores. Thor Ulferson. Finally the breakthrough Loudoun was looking for.
Throughout this second half, Loudoun United has been threatening the attacking goal, deserving of the go-ahead goal here from Ulferson. But I love the movement, the repress first from Eamon. Notice how he drives at this back line. And as Ulferson makes the move, so good, so clever, comes across the face of this back line of the Richmond kickers, which allows that passing lane for Panayiotou just to fend this ball off. As a number 9, especially in around that 18-yard box, your movement is crucial. Creating space for yourself is the hard work. The easy work for Ulferson is the composure to simply pass it by Sneddon. Wonderful goal from the striker.
And he has been scoring at will in his Loudoun tenure. It's his second goal in 2 Prinx Tires USL Cup matches. He has 5 goals in 9 regular season matches. Only 8 appearances and an assist last year in Iceland. 3 appearances in Hungary. Spent the last 2 years barely playing in Europe. Just the way things have gone, health and makeup of the rosters he was on. 2 good years at MLS with Houston, 49 games, 7 goals, 2 assists, and he won Open Cup with Houston in 2023. He has found a home and the right level in USL Championship. He's found the right system on this squad under Anthony Limbrick. So now things flip. 20 minutes to go. Richmond have to open up and press and try to find one to answer back.
Need to be a little bit more expansive now if you are the Richmond Kickers and start to chase this result. Find their front foot, good ball here.
Good defending by Adnan.
Just want you to notice the movement of Wolferson here. Starts to the penalty area, and just notice once you regain possession, how he spreads wide. Runs across the face of the Richmond Kickers back line because he understands where the space is. It's just such good recognition, understanding the back line's gonna get caught narrow, and a really good finish in the end.
Set piece for the Kickers. Punched away by 4. Eamon racing ahead, pulled from behind. That is a tactical foul. Will Freeman get away without a yellow? Unfortunate if he does. Well, looks like he will get away without one. Changes coming for Loudoun. Andres Super for Pedro Santos. Jacob Erlinson for Noah Adnan, who's still being held. Richmond readying their final change. Austin Amer will be replaced. Darwin Espinal will be the one coming on. Chased down by Piras. Worked back, Olferson. Thor Olferson back post. Kept in play. Eamon went down a bit easily there. Loudoun just changed their mind, by the way. Andres Super was set to replace Pedro Santos. Jacob Erlinson, Noah Adnan. But they sort of combine those together. Erlinson's still going to come on, but he'll replace Pedro Santos. They'll make just the one change. Just called Super back to the bench. Over a quarter of an hour remaining. Loudoun trying to return the favor after Richmond beat them 1-0 in Open Cup 2 months ago in Richmond. Now Loudoun at home, and the tables have turned. And now those changes. Erlinson for Santos, Espinal for Amer.
Espinal specifically was really active in the first meeting between these two sides in the Open Cup. The ability to shoot from distance, really strong and powerful runner, can drive at this back line. As Erlinson comes in for Santos, going to give you a little bit more of that security defensively underneath Anthony Limbrick. Trying to protect this lead as we approach the 75th minute.
Subs brought to you by Segra. Can't watch the match. Start on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights, plus live matches from the USL, MLS Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Just broken down poorly in the attacking third for Richmond in this second half. And a stern warning there for Hayden Anderson after that clumsy challenge. He's already on a yellow.
Yeah, needs to be careful. No need to try to win the ball back, especially when you have numbers around it. Big test in terms of the discipline for a lot of the Richmond kicker side as frustration starts to set in.
The question of urgency gets called upon as well late on here. Richmond very likely mathematically on their way out. No chance really to advance out of the group. Loudoun have every chance still. Will Richmond push, or will they conserve some energy for their upcoming regular season slate? Feels in some ways like the goal broke their spirit. Trying to hold on, trying to pluck one on the counter. Now having to open up. They just haven't had the facilities for it tonight. They haven't really done anything dangerous in the attacking third through build-up play. Espinal, though, newly inserted, could change that. Rolls it along, give and go. Here's Espinal. Step too slow for far.
It's a good idea from Espinal trying to play a wall pass with Tyler Freeman. But just the return ball a little bit too heavy from Freeman. We were talking about Espinal's right foot, ability to shoot from distance, dribble against his individual defender. Good action, making his impact felt immediately.
Flared out to Eamon. Eamon helped create the opening goal. On it again, Richie Eamon lays it off. Stumbling through, that's a Farrell.
Good feet.
Advantage played as well. Dorado scored last game in the 2-2 draw against Boise. And that broke about a 2-month drought. He hadn't scored prior to that since the Open Cup meeting between these sides. He has been invisible since subbing on for Richmond. Eamon keeps this one alive. Richie Eamon cutting in. Had to fire it through James Murphy in the hopes of reaching Thor Olferson.
The tempo certainly dropped. Players showing heavy legs, not having the ability to make runs off the ball. It's been a lot slower in terms of the game speed over the last 5 minutes here.
Murphy. Eamon has been a game changer for Loudoun. Eamon still battling, muscled off of it. Senge, Akinyoti. Murphy pings it for Eamon. Numbers flooding into the box. Olferson doubles his tally. Loudoun up by 2.
Going far. Impressive from the goalkeeper. But equally as impressive as the insertion of Eamon for Loudoun United. As saying it's really strong step, but notice his tempo here. 1-2 touch between Akinyoti back into Peniotu, out to Eamon from James Murphy. But as you have Bola Akinyoti continue his run, he's occupying the center back. That is when you need more to rotate across. The weak-sided outside back is late. And when you give Olferson that time and space from about 6 yards out, there's only going to be one result. A snap header and a 10 out of 10 from Jordan Farr as well.
Jordan Farr might have caught the Jedi Robinson clip from earlier today. I'll tell you what, Jordan Farr has had nothing to do, so maybe just keeping himself entertained back there. I do wonder how many Loudoun fans sort of looked at each other and asked, did that just happen? Jordan Farr, new to Loudoun, just came yesterday on loan from DC United, and all of a sudden you have a backflipping goalkeeper.
That's got to start a tradition here. Every single time they score, especially at home, he's got to do a backflip.
Oh, I don't know if you want your goalkeeper doing that with too much regularity.
The fans are going to want it.
Sure. I don't think the training staff is going to
give the fans what they want.
I don't think the training staff is going to want to see it. '22 goalkeeper of the year. He's been terrific in this league. Now 31 years of age, Jordan Farr. 8 minutes remaining.
Can you do a backflip?
I cannot. I mean, I can try if you had an ambulance on standby, but no, otherwise no. Can you?
No, I cannot.
I don't think I could even do one into a pool, mind you.
No, I don't think I can either.
Like, if you gave me a high dive in a pool and gave me all that space to try to complete a rotation, I probably still wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I've never been able to do it. I don't know how. Good diver, though. I can dive. I can do a cannonball as well.
I was going to say, cannonball, we're better off leaving the dangerous and fancy stuff to the people who are more athletic than you and I. And braver, probably.
Yeah, that's true. Good win again.
And it's Eamon again, with Olferson sitting on a hat trick. Eamon dummied through. Peniotu just out of his reach.
Just has a little bit something different, Eamon, doesn't he? Ability to change gear, drive at the back line, and his decision making, when to be selfish, when to bring in his teammates. Really strong showing. That is a wonderful ball from Tyler Freeman.
Can Richmond pull one back? Curled far, watches it. Took a deflection.
Talk about the quality of Tyler Freeman. Pick up his head and hit this ball on a dime to change your point of attack. You create separation, just trying to bend it around. And I love this leadership from Jordan Farr. He immediately gets up on his feet and has a conversation with his back line saying, you need to be tighter. You cannot allow this shot to get off.
In this second half, Richmond have just one shot. They haven't threatened it. From the corner, Farr punches clear. Panayiotou will see a yellow.
Professional foul here from Panayiotou, knows he's beat. Handful of the jersey from Hanozer will be his last action this evening. Good shift for Panayiotou.
Andres Super will take his spot, and Panayiotou will take a seat.
A yellow card has also been issued in the 85th minute to Loudoun United's number 16, Jack Panayiotou.
First final score of the evening is in the 11, taking down Forward Madison by a 2-0 final. Thought we were going to be the first final of the evening, but then an hour weather delay delayed things, and we kicked off with the rest of the plebeians instead of early. Detroit City up 1-0 in stoppage time on Lexington. Charleston, Pittsburgh, scoreless in the stoppage time. They could be headed for penalties. Tampa Bay still cruising 2-0 on Sporting Jackson stoppage time. And Loudoun wants another. Ulferson. On the live table, this brings Loudoun within 4 points of Charleston, sitting atop Group 6. To the back post, the header. Looking for a hat-trick was Ulferson, but it was right at Sneddon.
That's a really good ball in from Sneddon. eFootball's here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball's free to play. Download now. Coming for your job, Joe.
Yeah, you could have it. Closing 2 minutes here. Ricky, if you're Loudoun, you have to be happy with the second half. The first half wasn't your best, but you grew into the game. Richie Amon came in, a difference maker. Ulferson was Ulferson, and you are very much alive in Prinx Tires USL Cup.
Yeah, the impact that the subs made certainly changed the way that Loudoun United looked going forward. There's a little bit more bite and more venom in that final third. Really been a tough challenge there.
But a clean one.
Yeah. I've been really impressed with the balance essentially between James Murphy and Bolak and Yodi. Those two players complement each other extremely well. Asenge, the spine of this lineup, has done a really well done, a really good job at squeezing the game, winning their individual duels, and making life difficult for Richmond.
Goal kick as we enter the 90th minute. Well, if you're Richmond, it was a difficult one coming into the night, mentally knowing you were likely mathematically eliminated from any further advancement in this tournament. Still wanting to put your best foot forward, but also maybe with an eye back toward the regular season where you're just one victory out from a playoff spot. Richmond will turn their attention to Boise on the weekend, or rather in the midweek, excuse me. A Wednesday visit to Boise. And while Moore is down, we haven't had any Jordan Farr highlights to show you because he hasn't had any saves to make, but we do still have this in case you missed it earlier.
Even more impressive, it's from a standing position.
Hey, if nothing else, I was going to say, he's going to be a terrific locker room vibes guy for this Loudoun team, and that's if nothing else. There will definitely be something else, because you're getting a goalkeeper of the year in 2022 in USL Championship with him. So you're getting a lot from Jordan Farr in 5 minutes of stoppage time. I do need to get some sort of take this week from Olympian Jordan Childs on the backflip of Jordan Farr. He's interacting now with the ball kids. He's just having a grand old time. He's happy his back line has given him nothing to do. He's happy his new striker has given him a 2-goal lead.
You think they're asking him to do it again?
You know, that's a good shout. And maybe when the final whistle goes, we'll have to have a camera on him. He also might just be happy to be playing again. He has not seen the field at DC United. And they're in the midst of their World Cup break anyway. It's been their second choice the last couple of years. Very deserving rise up to MLS for Jordan Farr, given all his success in USL Championship. But sometimes when you get there, you can't quite crack the starting lineup. It's difficult always as a goalkeeper. Fewer jobs than other position players. No subs for the goalkeeper in the game unless there's an injury or red card. Just fewer and fewer opportunities to play. And when you can finally get back out there, you're happy to be playing the game you love once again. Charleston and Pittsburgh officially going to a shootout.
I think he wants a hat trick. Wolverson does.
See if they can find one for him through Richie Amen. Wolverson lurking top of the box. Amen cuts it to the end line, deflected out for a corner. Moore back out there. They're playing down a man briefly, Richmond. Wolverson will keep it in the corner. He's not going to get his hat trick from there. But at this point, Loudoun content to maybe run things out. Wolverson, though, other ideas. Adnan lines one up.
Good hands. See that fan?
Seemed unbothered. Just rotated back and grabbed it.
One hand as well.
He's had more work to do with his hands than Jordan Farr has in this second half. Can he do a backflip, though?
Yeah. That's where I have a little bit of a question mark there.
Just 2 more minutes before this one becomes official. Wolverson in the 68th and the 80th. Revenge for Loudoun. 2 months ago, falling 1-0 at Richmond in Open Cup. A Loudoun group that is poised to break out. The talent's there. The cohesion hasn't quite been there yet. Neither is the health of the group. Players are back. The relationships are growing. 6 ties, 1 win, 3 losses. I say it in that order because the ties have been prevalent, and they've been against good teams. They only have the 1 win. But the 3 losses you can't overlook. It's tough to beat this Loudoun team, and it feels like they're ready to break through. They have fewer losses than all but 3 of the playoff teams in the Eastern Conference at the moment. That tells you a lot. Tells you that the East is really muddled right now. It tells you that Loudoun, again, tough to beat, plenty of talent. They could flip a switch, it feels like, and make a big run in the Eastern Conference as we enter the summer months and beyond. Charleston and Pittsburgh beginning their shootout. Robbie Mertz, the first kick taker, it looks like, for Pittsburgh. The Riverhounds team that, remember, won the title last year in the same fashion in the shootout. Going to get a second screen going or flip over there once we're done here. Find it on ESPN+. Mertz connected on his first. Riverhounds have taken the lead in the shootout. That's also here in this group. Loudoun hoping probably that Pittsburgh is able to take the extra point there. Charleston stay then on 7, and Loudoun could be within striking distance. The referee asking for the ball. Let's continue instead. Beyond the 5 minutes given. Elsewhere, it's 1-1 in the shootout between Charleston and Pittsburgh. Sean Suber just stepped up and scored against his former team. Richie Amon looking for more for Loudoun. Amon looking through. Cleared by Richmond. And the final whistle goes. Loudoun United, on the back of 2 goals by Thor Olferson, take it 2-0 over the Richmond Kickers.
Deserving win from Loudoun United, the more complete side in terms of the performance offensively. Really stout, very compact, really aggressive, and 2 really good goals from Olferson. The subs from Anthony Limbrick changed the complexion of this game, so give credit to the head coach as well. Big win in the USL Cup.
And they needed it. Keeps them very much alive. Your man of the match is Thor Olferson with his brace, and he was looking for a third late in that one. He just couldn't find it.
Scored 2 really different goals, but yet 2 really good goals. First, his movement to create separation, then his positioning and a technical header. Really good performance from Olferson.
He looks spent. We've seen plenty of cramps and players doubled over in this one. A human night in Leesburg. Loudoun takes it 2-0. A pair of goals for Thor. He's been their main man, and he continued to prove it again here tonight. When we return, we'll take a look back at how it all went down. Loudoun sticks the landing, winning it 2-0 over the Richmond Kickers.
Business success requires more than just technology. It demands a strategic connectivity game plan, relentless agility, and a human touch. We offer business-only, carrier-grade connectivity, cybersecurity, voice and cloud tailored to meet the diverse needs of our clients. Segra is one of the largest nationwide independent commercial fiber companies in the U.S., with a fiber network infrastructure spanning 28 states. We are Segra. Connectivity, support, solutions.
You have the power to save. Take charge of your energy bill with these tips from Novec. Adjust your ceiling fans to rotate counterclockwise for warmer weather. Novec also recommends installing a programmable thermostat to avoid cooling your home when you're away. Set your water heater to 120 degrees. Novec is helping members save energy, which means saving money. Harness your savings power. Find more tips and tools at novec.com/save.
First half didn't have much to show. Second half was the Thor Olferson show, a brace to win it for Loudoun United.
It's a nice little rhyme that you had there, Joe. But as Amon does a good job at just staying with this ball, notice the aggressiveness here for Richie Amon. The drive at this back line, and the right side of your screen, you're going to see Olferson just cut across the face of this back line of the Richmond Kickers. Phenomenal movement. Understanding where the space is, attacks the space, and a really clever and composed finish. But it all starts with Amon. He was fantastic once he stepped on that white, over the white line, and made a big difference.
It's 2 on the night for Olferson. It's 3 in 2 games in USL Cup to go with his 5 in the regular season. He's been dominant. This is how the second one went down.
And the tempo from Akinyoti, Panayotu, Murphy out to Amon, the right side of your screen, as Akinyoti continues his movement. He brings in Howell, so that allows Olferson right on top of that 6-yard box, and what a goal and what a landing that is for Jordan Farr.
I tried to ask our producer to make Jordan Farr the man of the match just because of the athleticism he showed, but Thor Olferson scoring 2 goals, I think, took a little precedence here. And it's important because this is what the standings look like right now. Charleston and Pittsburgh are in a shootout, remember. One of those two teams is about to pick up a bonus point. For Loudoun's sake, they're hoping it's Pittsburgh. That would make it easier to track down Charleston. They have very much life still, Loudoun in Group 6.
A little bit of life for Anthony Limbrick, and Loudoun United have to take care of business and continue to win these games in 90 minutes if you want an opportunity to continue on into the next round.
That'll do it for us this evening from Leesburg. Loudoun United get their revenge on the Richmond Kickers. Richmond bested them in Open Cup 2 months ago. Loudoun bests Richmond tonight in Prinx Tires USL Cup. Our broadcast partner Ricky Lopez, Espen, and the rest of our fantastic crew. I'm Joe Malva saying so long for now. There is plenty of other action you can catch right now in Prinx Tires USL Cup. Continue to flip around on ESPN+. Good night, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.
Amen. Worked through. Chance here. Olferson goes for goal and scores. Thor Olferson finally the breakthrough.